Hey parents, thank you so much for spending this next few minutes with me. This video may get just a little bit lengthy, but it's very important to me that you watch the whole thing as I go over some important things that we've been missing and answer some important questions for you. So number one, I just want to say thank you so much for being so gracious with me this week and us being able to work as a team together for your child. It's been such a new learning experience for me, and I know it has been for y'all too. So thank you so much for your hard work. And thank you again so much for when I make mistakes, being gracious with me. It's been very helpful. You may hear some noise behind me. We've got kids playing at recess, and it's about lunchtime, so there's also kids in the hall right now as they grab their lunches and go back to class. So you might hear them in the background. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you and show you a couple things that are important to go over. The first thing I want to share with you is a testing schedule sign up that I will be sending out for you by Friday. This testing schedule, I'm not going to read you exactly what the details say because you can read, but I need you guys to sign up for 2 meeting times. So it's predicted that each test will take approximately an hour. So I'd like you to sign up for 2 30-minute time sessions for me to do our testing. Now, this is state and county testing that we do here in the classroom, and I'm going to have to do it with your child virtually. If you would like to come in during that time versus doing it online, you're welcome to, but I do feel that it would be just as beneficial to just hop on Zoom together with our small group link, and we can just get it done together on the screen. That's not a problem at all. So please do make sure that you sign up for a time slot that works well for you. There are 2 pages. So if you notice on the second page, it goes into the afternoon time slots. And on Wednesday, since I don't have small group on Wednesdays, you see that there are some extra time slots available. On this last column right here, you see that it says, I don't see a time that works well for my schedule. If you work during the day or if you guys are just working later in the evening or early in the morning because of your personal schedules, please let me know and I'll do my best to accommodate a different time slot. But if at all possible, guys, please make sure you're signing up for the ones that already are available. Let me show you how to do that. So the background image, I just made it where it stays the same, and what you have to do is double click into these spaces. Okay, so you see it's just a box. I created the little text box using the text box feature. So just double click in each of the text box and then just write your child's name. Okay, that'll be very helpful for me. Now we're all going to be sharing this document. So if you log in, you'll see some other people's work already on here. Please be very mindful to not delete anything. If you accidentally make an error and you delete someone's box, this handy little undo arrow right here will make your correction for you. It will go back. If for some reason someone's deleted a box, like right here, I just deleted the box, I can't double click on it anymore, you could just click text box and draw in your own text box. And now you will have it right there for you. Double click and you'll type. Okay? All right, so please do that as soon as you see it sent out. This will be very, very helpful for me. This is going to be a stressful thing for me to do for all of our virtual students. So I would really appreciate you being on time, being present, and you do not need to prepare for this. This is just a benchmark beginning of the year, just for me to see where your child is, and it'll help me guide where to go with your child specifically. This is, like I said, something normal that we do in the classroom. So if they were here, they would do the same thing. So thank you for understanding that. Okay, a couple more things I want to show you. Google Classroom work this week. I opened up our Wednesday slide and I wanted to show you a couple things that I heard you saying, things that I saw also that were not going well that need to be done and needed to be done better, I should say. In RAS Kids, I have added a vocabulary words to know. This is a really great thing for you to go over with your child. Just talk about what these words are. Oftentimes we use these words in conversation, but they don't understand the vocabulary context of it and what they mean. So make sure that your child understands the vocabulary words to know. This is what I would do in the classroom. We always preview vocabulary words before we actually begin reading. And then the books. So if you've noticed in RAS Kids, which of course I don't have the tab open right now. Let me see if I've got it right here. Yes, I do right here. When you sign in, it will show you that your child has assignments. Okay, I can't see I can't see a student view, so I'm not going to spend my time trying to maneuver that while I'm on here with you, but you will see assignments. If you do not, for some reason, see the assignments, please let me know and I can reassign it to your child. But there is a listening option, a reading option, and a quiz that will go along with the Raz Kids books from here forward. Your child can earn stars by reading them. If for some reason you have been missing that assignment tab, that's okay. Please don't go back and redo all that. Please just move forward from today and forward and make sure that you're working through the assignments. It does show me whenever you're reading a book. So that'll be something that as I'm checking, I will send you a message about, and just if I recognize that maybe you guys are working on the wrong assignment or whatever, I'll let you know. If you get your assignment done and your child wants to continue reading a book in Epic or in Raz Kids, that's fine. You guys have the flexibility and freedom to do so. But the assignments are what I will be looking at. Saxon Phonics, thank you guys for your patience with that. The teacher who is recording the Saxon Phonics lesson and I had a miscommunication with which sheets went out. So that is why you did not have the correct sheets this week. That was an error on my part, and I'm so sorry about that. Another correction I made was here with the Epic Read to Self. So one piece of feedback I kept hearing from parents was that we're having a really hard time finding books in Epic that go along with AR quizzes. I heard you, and what I did was add, I searched kindergarten books through Epic, and then I went to AR and I searched for book titles. Now, many of them, like you said, did not show, but the ones that I did use are ones that did have a quiz. So down here, you see it says quiz number, and then it has this number with it. I want you to copy that quiz number into AR. So let me show you. I'm in Clever. We click on AR, the Renaissance Place. You're in my page. You click on AR. Your child logs in, and now it looks kind of similar to this. This is teacher view panel, so it looks a little bit different. But in the search bar, you're going to type in that number. So if I see this one is 160616. And you hit search. And now you'll see that immediately this book pops up. Okay, so that is a very easy way to access the book you are looking for. So go ahead and take the quiz after you get done reading. It is recommended that you read the book once, then ask those WH questions, read the book again. In the classroom, that's what I have the kids do. I have them read it once for fun. They're usually distracted the first time they read it. They're looking at pictures and they're off task. They're not really following the character. But in those AR quizzes, the comprehension tests, they're asking them those WH questions like, who is the story about? What are they doing? What was the problem? What was the solution? Stuff like that. So those are really great things to ask your child as you guys are going through. This reading session, I did this live this week during our small group, and we're working at a very slow pace with it. In the classroom, it would go a lot faster, and we would be doing 2 lessons a day, not 1 a day. So it's actually not 2 lessons, it's part A and part B. But because of our short time frame, I had to move it to 2 days. So I might start recording this ahead of time and adding it into here, which was what the original lesson plan is, but I found that it was very overwhelming for me to do right now, and that's why I've been doing it during small group this week. I don't think that I made any other changes. I really want to stop here on this handwriting practice one though, okay? So I'm gonna walk on over to our board and I'll talk to you about this there. For the next section of this video, I just want to talk to you about some things I noticed from the students' work this week as I went through the packets that you guys turned into me, some things that we really need to work on and address, okay? Number 1 being handwriting. I know that you guys are doing lessons virtually, and it was a big concern for me and the county that we made sure that the students had proper handwriting practice like they would here in the classroom. So thankfully, you guys have been working hard on handwriting. We have videos to go along with handwriting. You have handwriting paper that you're working on. Let's talk about what that looks like. In your handwriting slide of each day, there are 2 videos, one that shows you like how to hold the pencil, one that shows you how to write on the lines, and then you see your actual work video. Those 2 that I talked about to begin with, those are crucial. So if that's not something that you and your child have mastered doing together, it's not a practice that they're regularly doing, then you need to watch the video every day. It needs to be practiced just like it would be here in the classroom. If a child's not holding a pencil correctly, that's something that we work on every single day. I always make sure that I walk around the room. We practice holding grip. Sometimes we use different pencil grips if we need to, but that is something that is addressed every day. Same thing with working on the lines. They're not going to be perfect at it at the beginning of the year. Many children are not perfect at it at the beginning of the year. That's totally okay, but they still need to practice the foundation, and they can't get away with not practicing what it looks like. And it takes sternness from me in the classroom, and I want you guys to be modeling that also with your child. So I'm going to use my blue pencil to write I'm using this as a pencil, just so you can see it on the board in comparison to the lines, and I'm going to use this orange as a highlighter, okay? So you can see I've made my road just like the handwriting paper. If your child is having a hard time seeing the lines because maybe the handwriting paper that we've printed is a little difficult to read and it's kind of mushed together, then one thing you can do for your child is maybe grab a colored pencil, something really thin and colorful, pen, whatever you have, and draw a little flower at the bottom with the stem so they see that it's growing out of the ground. And that's the bottom. And then the top of the line is the clouds. And then this is the middle of their road. So most lowercase letters, only go to the middle of the road. And our tall letters reach all the way to the sky. That's what we remind them of. Put you a little bit closer so you can see. Okay. Oh, there we go. All right. Now, a lot of work that was turned into me this week had your handwriting on it. I need to make sure that the kids are writing. So if you want to help your child write, I am totally fine with that. I think that that's incredible. I need you to be doing that with your child since I'm not there. But it needs to be on the side or on a sticky note or above it. If your child is writing their name and they haven't gotten it yet, here's an option. Just write it up top for them. My name's Brandy. And then that way they can copy it. Talk to them about how this letter looks very tall. It's a capital letter. You can see my D is going to be tall, so it's going to go from the roots all the way to the clouds. And practice doing that together. But on the handwriting, I should be able to see their handwriting. So lowercase letters touch the ground, and they go up to the middle of the road. Unless it's a tall letter, it goes from top to bottom. Now, if this still frustrates your child and they need something different, then the first time they do it, use your highlighter and you can write it out on a highlight for them and have them please trace over it. Okay? That's very sloppy, but I want you to see that you can highlight it for them, then they trace over it using their pencil. I'm not going to go through that. You know what I'm talking about here. If you use the highlighting option, which is great, that's really good beginning practice, please make sure that your child tries again on their own, okay? Next thing I wanted to talk about is phonetic spelling. So phonics are the sounds that letters and letter sounds make together, and they create our words. So I don't remember learning phonics in school, but that is something that we teach at the beginning of their education now. And phonetic spelling is when something is spelled the way that it sounds. So I noticed in our insect writing, a lot of the words were spelled correctly, which is great. That means you helped your child out with that. But I want you to know it's also okay if for butterfly, they spelled it like this. They hear ba, ch, they might not know that sound yet. That's something you can help them with because that's a blend. I. If they spelled it like this, that's correct in my eyes because that's how it would phonetically sound. So you're going to see the kids' writing assignment next week. I'm using the word sushi, and I'm going to spell it incorrectly because I want them to see that phonetically it's okay. It's more important at this stage that they're hearing the sounds than actually spelling it correctly. So they will eventually learn to spell words correctly, but phonetically hearing things is very crucial for this age right now. All right, the last thing I wanted to talk about, there's two more things, sorry. I want you to see whenever they're practicing writing their letters, I'm going to put it down to this last one. We also need them practicing spacing correctly. So in that video, you saw, if you watched it, that the handwriting teacher made sure that as they were writing an L, they went from top to bottom, and then they use a finger space. Then they write the next letter, finger space. Finger spaces are important because that's going to translate into our writing. We need to make sure that the kids know in between words there are spaces. So even as they're just writing their letters, this week you guys are working on O's. You write the letter O, finger space. A lot of what I saw this week is this. And it's all over and all around. I can't put my finger in between any of them. And if that was here in the classroom, what I would have them do is finger spaces. We would maybe use a pencil if they didn't want to use their own finger. We would have to problem solve here. And not reaching the middle and the bottom of the line for these lowercase O's was a problem that we would need to problem solve. And we would make sure we use our erasers to do the best job we can do. So it's not that that stuff is wrong. They just need to problem solve and know that I have high expectations for them. And I know that you guys do too, just like we would here in the classroom. So I wanted to go over that. The last thing I wanted to say is if you guys are writing something and your kid is not exactly understanding letters and letter sounds yet, that's normal. This is all brand new. They're learning this for the first time here in kindergarten. So if your child is writing a dictation for butterfly and it looks like this, because they haven't learned all their letters yet, they don't know which letters make letter sounds yet, that's okay. I don't want you to write it for them. I want you to dictate it for them. So that's where I can see your handwriting on the side in quotation marks. Say butterfly for me. That way I see where your child truly is and how I can help them with their letter sounds from here forward. So you're dictating it for me. You're not writing it for them. That's very, very helpful. So I hope I'm not offending anybody here. I just want you to practice the same routine that we practice here in the classroom so that if they make the transition here, it's the same expectation. I hope you found this helpful, and thank you so much for tuning in with me, and I'm sorry to take up so much of your time, but I hope you have a great day. Thanks.